background is purely automotive. I've worked in the automotive industry despite how old I look. I'm not 20 or 18, for over 20 years. And I've worked in Italy, Germany, United States for a range of car manufacturers, and effectively I've always been at the edge of transformation and driving change, whether that's creating McLaren as a car company within a Formula One team, a very high technology-led business, and most recently creating InMotion, an entirely new business that builds and invests in mobility and transportation startups.
Most recently I was talking at Millennial 2020 in London, where I was in a panel talking about the future of the automotive industry, autonomous vehicles, and how the new consumer of tomorrow may never own a car, never mind have a driver's license.
How many of you own a car today? How many of you prepared for a world where you may no longer need to own a car? Ah, that's very good. We have some enlightened people within the room. What I'd say is, it's a level of change that people aren't fundamentally prepared for. So digitalization is the biggest technology transition ever. Arguably, it will be bigger than the information age and the arrival of the internet. Now, this is Edwin. He's the world's first smart connected duck. Yeah, you don't believe me? You can go buy him. He's just under $100. He will tell you the temperature of the bathwater as you run it for your children. He'll play music, and you can even take him to bed with you at night and light up as a night light. So everything is connected. In the world of today, and equally tomorrow, that integration and connectivity and digitalization is pervasive, and it will transform industries and reshape them in arguably a very different way than we've ever experienced before.
How do you keep learning in a digital age that enables you to stay at the forefront of how change will happen and make that change apparent and visible to everybody? When it comes to people, people are obviously the most important thing of any organisation, and the culture that sits behind them to align them to that vision and the change and the transformation ahead is something that's really important.
So how are OEMs readying themselves for this? Well, this digitalisation, I liken it a little bit to driving in the fog at night. It's really, really difficult to see where you're going. You need your headlights, but actually they can detract you from seeing what's around the corner. But you have to keep going because you need to transfer, you need to get to where you need to go. But fundamentally, it's very uncertain, and you may need to change course as you go forward. So what we did at InMotion, at Jaguar Land Rover, was create InMotion, an entirely separate business that builds and develops ventures in mobility and transportation, but in an entirely different way.
Ultimately, what I want to do is try to inspire other people by learning from my experiences. And really that starts with why. So if you're a big fan of Simon Sinek, you know, he's very powerful where he talks about the power of why. So give people the reason why you did something, bring them into the story, tell them, feel like they're joining you on a journey so they can learn from your experience and deliver the passion, the insight and the engagement from my experience.